The former This Morning host is returning to screens for the second series of My Cornwall with Fern Britton. Within the Channel 5 program, which airs tonight, the 65-year-old begins her adventure at Halton Quay, on the banks of the River Tamar. However, her trip soon gets emotional when she revisits her family home, which is full of memories. The daytime television legend opened up about filming My Cornwall with Fern Britton on Wednesday's installment of Loose Women. Host Ruth Langsford told Fern, "I know it was quite an emotional time for you, and Channel 5 have very kindly given us a clip. So this is a clip of Fern returning to her very first childhood home." Within the footage, Fern walks into her old bedroom and is filmed looking around to see how it has changed over the decades. Ruth Langsford shares Eamon Holmes' bedroom confession. "And this was my room," she exclaimed to the camera. "I didn't know what was going on in the family at that stage." She continued, "I just knew that it was me and my mum and my sister here and that my father didn't live here. It was odd. In those days, people didn't tell you things. My mother was, as you could imagine, everything. She was mother and father to me, which is why I can tell you lots of stories about her." Fern started to get tearful as she carried on talking about her childhood memories of her mother, Ruth. She needed to take a moment before she explained how strong her mother was when she was growing up in Cornwall. "She worked to keep us all together," the presenter explained in the clip, which the Loose Women panel were watching back with her. The panel sympathized with Fern and understood it must have been emotional for her to experience and watch back on the screen. Fern Britton shares photo of flipping freezing Boxing Day with kids. Update: Fern Britton says her view softened after Harry and Meghan doc. Latest: Fern Britton calls for apology over Harry and Meghan doc. Insight: Fern opened up last year about her father's absence during a conversation on Kate Thornton's White Wine Question Time podcast. She said, "I've told this story before, but it's still only about 8 years ago that my father told me what had happened. He had left my mother and my sister, and then he came back to see Mummy and my sister, fell into bed with my mother, and disappeared, very shortly after. And nobody told me. That's why I hadn't ever lived with him. So that's amazing, isn't it?" Her father, named Tony, told Fern his reasons for leaving the family home when he was in his 80s. Tony, who was an actor, died when he was 95 years old in 2019. Fern tweeted following the news of his death, "Our father, Tony Britton, died early this morning. Great actor, director and charmer. May flights of angels sing thee to thy rest." My Cornwall with Fern Britton continues on Wednesday at 8 p.m. on Channel 5.